Hey guys, it's Brianna here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to bring you my 2020 reading stats and hopefully some goals for 2021. I am so excited to be doing this video. I know I've been kind of quiet the last couple weeks. It's just I've been trying to enjoy my Christmas break as much as possible, and I kind of failed at Vlogmas, but we're here now. I'm excited to be doing my wrap up for the year. I can't believe 2020 is over, but I'm also glad it's over because we all know how 2020 has been, so I'm just glad we're in the final hours of the year. So let's go ahead and get started. Hey guys, editing Brianna here. I just now realized that I completely forgot to turn off my fan during filming of the video, so I do apologize if you guys hear that background sound of the fan. It just completely slipped my mind and I forgot to turn it off, so I do apologize for that. Hopefully it's not too loud for y'all. I'm just too lazy to refilm the video, so I just wanted to quickly throw that in there, so I do apologize, but I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. So so this is actually kind of funny. I guess funny to me. Anyway, I am such a nerd when it comes to my stats that I have been really keeping track of all of my ratings, all of the genres I'm reading, the whole like shebang. And I will get into my 2021 stats in a little bit, how I'm going to change that up. But this year, about mid-year, I think I want to say in June, there is a blogger who they are part of the, I think it's called the UTC book blog, and Francesca, she loves to keep stats of all of the books that she's reading. Like, she has a whole system down, and I think it's really awesome. So one of the apps that she was talking about this summer that I kind of caught on to was this app called Bookly. And essentially it's just this app that will track your reading. You do have to kind of stay on top of it. Like, you have to hit, start reading or continue reading as soon as you start reading, and then you hit finish. And as long as you keep up with it, it'll give you a pretty accurate of how fast you're reading, how slow you're reading, how much you are reading per hour, all of that stuff. And I've been really enjoying it this half year. So I intend on carrying that out through the rest of 2021. So I am excited to see a whole year's worth of stats. So with that said, mine is going to be a little bit more condensed because I don't have all of that information, but let's go ahead and get started. So for 2020, I didn't read as many books as I read in 2019. In 2019, I read 310 books, which is the most books I have ever read and probably the most I will ever read in my life in 1 year. I read a total of 285 books this year, and I'm going to talk about why I had such a high number here in a second. So with that said, I broke it down by genre. So obviously, which I guess this would make sense, my most read genre in 2020 was dark romance. I read a total of 60 books in the dark romance world, and of those 60, 45 of them were MC books, which, if you don't know what MC stands for, it stands for Motorcycle Club Romances. And if you are new to my channel, then you probably don't know my deep love for motorcycle romances. I eat them up. It's my absolute favorite. It's a whole deal. So honestly, I haven't read that much this second half of the year, which if I would have kept up that momentum, I definitely probably could have almost doubled that number, if not gotten close to doubling it. Just because of my reading taste this year, it has been all over the place. My next highest rating genre is just the broad umbrella of romance, one that doesn't technically fit in, with dark romance, fantasy romance, paranormal romance, all of that. It's just a romance, and then it builds off from there. And so I read a total of 52 of those. And then my next highest one is, I kind of combined it with two different types, although I guess they could be classified as one. I combined manga and graphic novels into one because I feel like they're kind of similar in that they are a graphic form of reading. So one of the genres that I read this year was mangas, and of all of those two genres, I read a total of 50 books in both of those genres. So, and then my next highest is young adult fantasy, which is so strange because prior to this year, it's one genre that I just have not read anything from. So the fact that I had 26 was kind of crazy, which kind of explains what this year has been. It's been a crazy year in terms of reading and just a year overall. And then, so I did try to branch out a little bit more this year and just try different genres and to see what I would think of them. So in 2020 I did read 4 different genres, one of them being thrillers, and I read a total of 14 thrillers this year. I definitely hope to read more in the future because I really am enjoying the genre. Another one that is recently new, as in just about a week ago, I finally made the dive into cozy mysteries. So obviously I've only read 1 book this year and I really hope to read more in 2021. I just need to do some more research and kind of see what I might like and find some other books to read. Another one that I want to continue to read is nonfiction / memoirs. I only read 3 this year and I will definitely change that. I'm going to talk about my 2021 goals, like I said, here in a few minutes, so I will explain kind of what I want to do with that. And then obviously, as I mentioned, of those genres, the most read out of that would be manga, and of those 50 graphic novels and mangas I read, 36 of them were mangas, so I've done some jamage this year. So now that I've kind of talked about the genres, I do want to talk about the star ratings that I've given. I do a 6-star rating system. Basically, a 6-star for me means it's a favorite for me for the year, which that helps me when it comes time to talk about my favorites of the year. I have a more consistent list of knowing exactly what I love throughout the months, because I don't know about y'all, but I forget a lot of what I've read, and I'll go back like at the beginning of the year and be like, was that a favorite? Like, I don't remember. So it really helps for me to mark 6-star ratings. I really wish that there was a way on Goodreads to mark a 6-star. I just have to make notes in my own personal records that it is a favorite and a 6-star. Of the 285 books I read this year, 34 of them were 6 stars, which I feel like in previous years this is actually a pretty low number for me, which is good because, as I'm going to talk about my favorite books of the year, somehow, some way I managed to condense it to my top 10. I have never been able to do that. That's another. So the next obvious rating is a 5-star. This is where it kind of explains a type of reader that I am, because like I said, of the 284 or 85 books that I read, 115 of those were 5-star books. So I tend to kind of know what books I'm going to enjoy. I don't know what it is. I'm kind of one that kind of seeks the enjoyment and just like the overall feeling of the book, and I guess I really am pretty good at choosing books that I will enjoy. So the fact that I had over 100 5-star books is mind-blowing. I do use half stars, so I do use 4.5, and I read a total of 30 4.5-star books, and then 4 stars I had 77, which I guess is also something different for me. I feel like in previous years I've had more of like the 4.5 and 5 stars, so it's just been, like I said, a very interesting year in terms of reading. And then I did have a 3-star. I had 19 3-star books, so you can tell that it really starts to drop off very, very quickly. I did have 3 2.5-star books, and I had 3 2-star books, and then I did mark 6 books as did not finish or DNF. One of them, I believe, if I remember correctly, it is an anthology. It is a huge anthology. I just did not finish it. I would definitely love to finish it, so that one is just one that I'm going to come back to at some point. So another thing that I did want to mention in terms of all of my reading this year, which kind of surprised me. So in 2019, one of the genres that I did try out was historical romance, and I know right now it is like booming. Everybody's talking about historical romance. We're talking about the Bridgertons. Like, it's this whole big long thing. And I absolutely love historical romance to pieces, but I am really sad to say I only read 7 historical romances this year, which sucks. I am definitely going to change that in 2021, because I have, especially now that I have literally just finished the Bridgerton, now of course I want more historical romances. So one of my goals for 2021 is to read more historical romances. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into my top 10 of the year. The fact that I was able to like get this down into a top 10 is mind-blowing. So unfortunately there's 2 books that I do not have the like physical books of, so I'm just going to go ahead and talk about those first, and then I will talk about the rest of them. Obviously, since one of the genres that I did try out this year was thrillers, I've got to mention a favorite of the genre that I've read so far, and that has to be Final Girls by Riley Sager. I don't know about y'all, but I have been so excited to try out his books this year. Of course, I started with that book. I'm going to go in publication order. I have read 2 of his 4 books so far, and I really hope to get caught up this coming year's books because I really have enjoyed the 2 that I've read so far. And then my favorite, okay, so I gotta talk about mangas and graphic novels. So my favorite graphic novel that I read pretty recently is Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me. This book was absolutely adorable. I wanted to cry. I might have shed a couple tears. Just this whole story of just this toxic relationship, and just of course the drama because this is a high school romance. It's just, oh my god, I can't. And just like the friendship element, it was a good book. I need to buy a copy for my shelves because that book was absolutely adorable. I loved it to pieces. It was so good. So good. Sorry, I know I'm gonna go very quick because I really don't want this video to be extremely long. So I do want to talk about, even though I've only read 7 historicals this year, I did have a favorite series, and if you know me, I am horrible at finishing series. But I do have a favorite series of the year because I did pretty much binge these this summer, and the series is so good. It is I think it's called the Wallflower series by Maya Rodell. This series is so good. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I think I have them in the correct order if I remember correctly. So if I remember correctly, the first book is The Wicked Wallflower, book 2 being What a Wallflower Wants, and then the final book being Wallflower Gone Wild. So as you can tell, these are obviously all characters who are wallflowers, and it's just absolutely amazing. I loved these books. Of course, I gotta talk about my favorite manga of this year, and it wouldn't be a favorite without mentioning who kind of inspired me, I guess like motivated me to get into the genre. I'm sure you guys are familiar with her channel because she's absolutely adorable. I love her to pieces. It's Desiree from Genki Reader. I started out the genre with reading Boys Love Manga, which is like MM, you know, male romances. And of course, I have a favorite from her recommendations. I think I've read 4 Boys Love manga so far this year, and definitely need to read more because it's been a couple months since I've read one and I need more. But my favorite one that I've read so far is Dekaboko Sugar Days. This book was so cute. I loved it to pieces. I'm so glad I got some recommendations for Desiree. She is like the go-to for manga recommendations, anything anime, all of it. Like, I live for her content of all of her recommendations and everything. It's just is great. I feel like I have talked about this book non-stop. This is a book that I read at the very beginning of the year. I think one of the very first books I read in 2020, and I have not stopped thinking about it. So when I was like, well, what is my favorite romance? And honestly, it wasn't that hard to choose because I will not shut up about Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. I seriously have not stopped talking about this book. I have not stopped thinking about this book. I love this book to pieces. I'm pretty sure everybody knows what this book is. It is an age gap romance. It's forbidden. The whole shebang. This book, like Chef's Kiss, like absolutely amazing. I love this book to pieces. With talking about dark romance, I have to have a favorite of the genre because if I've read 60, there's gotta be a favorite. Plus it's my favorite genre. So unfortunately I couldn't pick just one because that's impossible. I have 2 series that I have started previously in 2019, and I've read the sequels this year, and they, honestly, I can't pick between the 2 because they are both absolutely amazing. So one of them is a Love So Hard by Christine Michelle. This is the second book in the Aces High Charleston series. Love this. This is more of a emotional, just heartbreaking series. I really need to get caught up. I don't think I've continued this series yet. I think this is kind of where I've stopped. I believe it's now finished, so I have no reason but to binge it and just finish it and just feel all of the heartbreak that is this amazing series. And then I have a new page by Zara Telic. This came out earlier this year. I absolutely adore this book. This book just makes me so smile so hard. It is so unique from all the other MC books that I've read, and I just absolutely love it to pieces. Now I have a book that I purely picked just because it brings the world's biggest smile to my face, and it is just the cutest story of all time that released this year, and it is You Deserve a Crown by Leah Johnson. This book was so cute. Biggest smile on my face the entire time. I think I read it in one sitting. I absolutely love this book to pieces. So cute. If you have not read it, you need to read it because it's so cute. Okay, now I had to pick a book that was just generally an amazing book this year, and I feel like when it came out I could not stop talking about it, and I just haven't talked about it recently, but definitely my overall favorite book this year would be The Black Flamingo by Dean Otta. This book is told in verse, and it is just a beautiful book. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love this book to pieces, and definitely more people need to read it. I definitely read it in one sitting. It is just an amazing story about the drag world, finding yourself, and just all of that, and it was amazing. And then lastly, because I wouldn't be a Twilight fan without mentioning the release of Midnight Sun, but my favorite book, just for nostalgia purposes, is obviously Midnight Sun. I love this series so much. I finally read it just a couple weeks ago. I think towards the end of November, if not the beginning of December. It's just I haven't had the time to pick it up because it is a very chunky book compared to the rest of the Twilight series. So it took me quite a bit to get through, but oh my gosh, being back in this world was absolutely everything, and it was just so good, and I loved it so much. It brought back all of my teenage nostalgia feels, and it was just the best time ever. So let's go ahead and just quickly talk about what I plan to do for 2021. I plan to set my goal to 150 books for the year. That's kind of what I've set in the past, I think, 2 years. I've obviously reached that goal, usually mid-year. I like to pick a goal that I can easily accomplish and it's not going to take me forever to accomplish, or that I really have to stress about actually completing. So 150 books is perfectly doable for me. I know I'll finish it, so I have no reason to stress about this, and I don't like stressing myself out when it comes to reading because that's silly. So I hope to read 150 books, and I will definitely reach that and probably way more. That's kind of my overall goal. Another goal that I want to continue to do is obviously read more of the genres that I've tried out this year, and obviously read more historical romance. I do want to try out some more genres to see how I feel. Like I said, I do want to read more nonfiction. I have set a goal that I would like to read at least 6 more nonfiction books this year. Just nonfiction is one of those that I just they're not the world's most exciting books, but there are some books that I really need to read just to kind of make me a better person and just kind of get more perspectives and things. So I'm making a goal that I need to read at least 6. I would definitely love to read more. That's kind of my goal, but I need to read at least 6 or more. So I also would just like to hopefully continue to make booktube videos. I really enjoyed getting to start this journey this year. I think I started in late April, maybe early March. I can't remember exactly when I started. So it's just been a really fun journey to kind of experience this. And I actually hit 300 subscribers on the 28th, which is so cool. So it just warms my heart that 300 of y'all are watching my videos and want to just see more content from me. So I love you guys so very, very much, and it just seriously brings the biggest smile to my face that there are 300 of you that like to watch my videos, even though I am a complete goofball and like to ramble. So there's that. There are some book clubs. Obviously I have my Queens book club that I run on Facebook. Obviously I do plan on kind of reviving it because I've really struggled this second half of the year with becoming a teacher and just carrying on a social life in the book world and navigating my first year in teaching during this craziness of the pandemic and everything. So I've kind of let my love for MC kind of fall to the wayside, which kind of sucks because y'all know I love dark romance, especially MCM Mafia, but I've already started getting I'm gonna try and plan out the next like 3 to 4 months in advance. So I've actually put together a poll in the group for everybody to vote on what they want the books to be. So I'm super excited to announce those. If y'all want to know those books, I would definitely love to make a video for y'all and just kind of announce what we're going to be reading the next 4 months. And I'm super excited because I picked 12 books that I think are going to be really amazing to read. So I'm excited to see what everybody wants to read. But yeah, so I do have some plans to participate in more book clubs. Hopefully, you know, be more active in the booktube world. I feel like I have not been super active in the booktube world. I've been watching every video and commenting when I can, but I feel like I need to be better about, you know, being more active on booktube. So that is another goal for me in 2021. Obviously, I'm going to continue doing my bullet journal. I don't know if I'm going to continue to do like those plan with me's. My last one for December did not do very well. I think I had like 9 views on it. I don't know if it's just because of craziness of the holidays and everything. And plus, like, I feel like it's so hard for me to get good lighting. I need to figure out a better system. But speaking of, I really hope the lighting is okay. It's currently storming and extremely dark. Sorry, I got cut off. It stopped recording on me. But it's currently storming outside and just really dark outside, but hopefully the lighting is decent. So I don't know if I'm going to continue doing those kind of plan with me's, but I will do like flip throughs and kind of show you the month layout and everything. I am in the process of setting up my journal for the year, and I'm doing a ring bound system, and I'm super excited. I'm already loving how it's turning out so far, so I'm excited to show you guys like all our planner stuff this year. Those are all of the stats for 2020. I can't believe this year is almost over, and 2021 is just going to be a better year. I just know it. So I really hope you guys have a safe and amazing new year, and I will see you guys in 2021. Bye guys.